like to call the Zoning Board of Appeals for Tuesday, November 13th, 2018 to order. Will the city call the roll, please?
Ms. Defoe?
Here.
Mr. Bussell?
Here.
Ms. Selesny?
Here.
Mr. Wygum? Mr. Rogers?
Here.
Madam Chairperson, you have a quorum to conduct business.
All right, thank you. Are there any communications?
Not at this time.
Okay, so with that, we'll move into the public hearing. For those of you that haven't joined us before, I'll give you a quick rundown of how we conduct business. The city will call each case by the case number, read a brief synopsis of the case. We'll ask you as the appellant to step to the podium, state your name and address for anyone who's speaking. There's also a sign-in sheet if you would please sign in at the podium. And then we ask you to explain to us what you're asking for and why you're asking for it. You can be brief or you can be as lengthy as you'd like. The city will then read the facts of the case. We'll ask you to agree or disagree with those or add anything at that point. And then we'll open it up to the public if there's anyone else from the public here who wishes to speak on your case. And then we'll close the public hearing. We ask you to just stay in the front row, and then the board will deliberate and make a decision. And then we'll move on to the next case. Okay? So with that, will the record reflect Mr. Wygum has joined us?
Thank
you. You're welcome. And will the city call the first case, please?
Yes, for ZBA 1829, the appellant Warren Hudson, representing FinSilver Friedman Development Company, LLC, owner, is requesting the following waiver from the board for 2 additional wall signs, 2 permitted, 4 proposed, and additional wall sign area. The property is located on the west side of Central Park Boulevard between I-696 and Civic Center Drive at 26777 and 26999 Central Park Boulevard, Sidwell parcel 2422-226020, zoned EROM Education Research Office. This appeal is to Section 8.56, Article 8, Chapter 99 of the Southfield City Code, more commonly known as the sign ordinance.
Okay, thank you. Is the appellant here? Seeing no appellant, the city have a recommendation?
If I might, to the chair, I would recommend that we could move this particular case to the end of the meeting to see if the appellant does show up.
Sure. Can I have a motion to table the case?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, will the city call the next case, please?
For ZBA case 1831, the appellant Ron Gary of R. Gary Signs, representing the owner, Chad Paola, operation manager of Beacon Management, The Lakes, is requesting the following waiver from the board for 7.64 square feet of additional garden ground sign area, 32.64 proposed, 25 permitted, and a garden ground sign in the corner clearance area. Property is located on the north side of 12 Mile Road between Franklin and Telegraph Roads at 25500 West 12 Mile Road, Sidwell parcel 2408-351010, zoned RMM, multiple family residential medium rise. This appeals to Section 8.54, Article 6, and Section 8.36, Article 3, Chapter 99 of the Southfield City Code, more commonly known as the sign ordinance.
Okay, thank you. Is the appellant here? Hi, good evening. Could you please step to the microphone? Again, state your name and your address, please.
Ron Gary, 10098 Imus Drive, Pinckney, Michigan.
Okay, thank you. Would you like to tell us what you're here asking for and
Sure.
why?
Our customer asked for a updated looking sign at the entrance of their apartment complex. Upon viewing what they currently have and looking at the code, our proposal to them and my suggestion to Ed was to increase the size and the height a bit. The traffic on 12 Mile is kind of at a brisk pace. It's difficult to determine quickly enough the name of that apartment complex and to get in there in a safe manner. So our proposal is to bump the square footage to 32. Basically, it's a 4x8, and part of that square footage is a geometric green shape at the back of the sign that really doesn't have any advertising on it. We thought a unique shape there and color would help be an identifier for people on the road, even if they don't read in particular what it is, they notice there's something there, and that would help them get safely into the development.
Okay, thank you. Will the city read the findings of fact, please?
Yes, for ZBA case 1831, the appellant, Ron Gary of R. Gary Sign, representing the owner, Chad Paola, operation managers of Beacon Management, The Lakes, is requesting the following waivers from the board. 7.64 square feet of additional garden ground sign area, 32.64 proposed, 25 permitted. A garden ground sign in the corner clearance area, and 1 foot of garden ground sign height, 5 foot required, 6 foot proposed, and that's a change from the legal notice. The property is located on the north side of 12 Mile Road between Franklin and Telegraph Roads at 25500 West 12 Mile Road, Sidwell parcel 2408-351010, zoned RMM, multiple family residential medium rise. To the north, the properties are zoned RE, single-family residential, and are currently developed with single-family dwellings fronting onto Farmbrook Road. To the south, the properties are zoned RC, regional center, and are currently developed with the Silver Triangle office building and 12 north apartments. To the west, separated by a 6-foot masonry wall, the property is zoned RM, multiple family residential low-rise, and is developed.
Excuse me, Ed. Those two are going to be, are copied over from another case.
You're right.
Number 4 and
Sorry.
5 are
And 4
not
and 5.
correct.
Okay, the site contains a total of 28.57 acres of land with approximately 99 feet of frontage on 12 Mile Road at a depth of 1,230 feet. The site consists of a large apartment complex with 2 entrances and exits along the 12 Mile Road frontage. The main entrance exit to the complex contains a large landscaped island with a sign attached to a brick wall separating the entrance and exit portion. A survey of signage at the site reveals the following: 1 legal non-conforming due to its size and location, illuminated ground sign, 60 square feet in area, approximately 4 foot 6 inches in height, at a 5 foot setback from the property line, attached to a brick wall in the island at the main entrance. In addition, tall fountain grasses are planted close to the property line, which limits visibility to traffic exiting the site. Additional directional signage is evident throughout the site, which is consistent with a complex of this scale. The sign ordinance in the RMM, multiple family residential medium rise zone, where the site is located, permits 1 garden ground sign at the site with a maximum area of 25 square feet, a maximum height of 5 feet, and a minimum of 2 foot setback, and not in any corner clearance area. The appellant proposes the removal of the existing wall sign attached to the brick wall and replace it with 1 non-illuminated garden ground sign, 32.64 square feet in area, 6 feet in overall height, at a 5 foot setback from the property line, or 6 feet from the inside edge of the sidewalk. This proposal requires waivers of the corner clearance provision, 7.64 square feet of additional garden ground sign area, and 1 foot of additional height for a garden ground sign.
Okay, thank you. Do you agree with those facts?
I do.
Okay, is there anything you'd like to add at this time?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Will staff read the recommendation, please?
Yes, staff's recommendation is for approval of a garden ground sign in the corner clearance area, 7.64 square feet of additional garden ground sign area, 5 feet required, 6 feet recommended, and 1 foot of additional garden ground sign. That's wrong. It should be 7.64 square feet of additional garden ground sign area, and 1 foot of additional garden ground sign height. 5 feet is required, 6 feet is recommended, with the following conditions: the garden ground sign be as presented, signed and dated as an exhibit for this case. The garden ground sign be at a minimum of 8 feet behind the inside edge of the sidewalk. The fountain grasses or any other tall landscaping material be removed from the area between the sign and the sidewalk. A readable address or series of addresses be placed on the supporting base below the sign to be visible to traffic along 12 Mile Road. the existing wall and sign be removed in its entirety, and the appellant agree to eliminate the use of prohibited sign types such as banners, balloons, balloon structures, portable signs of any type, flags other than country or state designation, or individuals or vehicles displaying signage visible to the right-of-way as required by ordinance.
You have a little bit more.
This recommendation is based on the following. The new garden ground sign at the proposed location, along with the removal of the existing wall and tall landscape grasses, should improve visibility for traffic exiting the site onto a very busy thoroughfare. The increase in area and height will provide better visibility for fast-moving, heavily trafficked area.
All right, thank you. Any questions or anything else to add right now? Otherwise, we'll open public comment. So if you'll
No
just-
questions.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone from the public who wishes to speak on this case? If so, please step forward. Okay, seeing none, we'll close public comment and open it up to the board. Mr. Wygum?
I don't have a problem with this. I noticed that in the complexes along there, they don't have your address on there, the number. And you need to put that in, and that's one of the stipulations. So you're
That's
gonna
fine.
You
Yep.
need to put an address. Another thing is that we didn't say is that you have a 6 foot from the inside edge of the sidewalk, and we've stated here it needs to be 8 foot. So I want
made
you to
note,
be
yep.
aware of that.
Yep.
Other than that, I have no problem with it. Ed, I did want to ask you, in their thing that they sent us, their little pictures, they have other signs, and I assume that those are considered directional signs and no problem.
Through the chair to Mr. Wygum, you are correct.
I have nothing else.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Rogers?
Yeah, I think the appellant's reason for creating better visibility makes sense. The only question I have is when the staff makes a recommendation on various conditions, it's understood that the appellant agrees with that. Is that correct? With each recommendation? So that if the tall grasses have to be removed, that's been agreed upon, that's acceptable. So I'm asking the appellant, is all of the recommendations from staff acceptable?
Yes, they are. And
Okay.
I've made note of them, and I'll confer with Mr. Gardella regarding point by point.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Bussell?
Yeah, I don't see any problem with this. I saw that the westbound traffic can see the existing sign, but eastbound traffic, actually, that sign is difficult to see when traveling eastbound. So the higher sign should make it a lot easier to find, especially if it has the address number on it. I have no other problem.
Okay. Ms. Selesny?
I agree with the findings of the city and their recommendations.
Okay, great. I think the only thing I noticed, there is a like flag banner that's kind of waving right there, so that's one of the conditions, that's also a prohibited sign under the ordinance. I think oftentimes they get thrown out there and they don't realize that it's against the ordinance, so that's another
Got it.
condition. And then I drove around the complex and there's a lot of trash around the complex, so that's obviously not a condition. I was hoping maybe somebody from the facility would
I'll
be
glad
here.
to pass that along.
I didn't know if there had been any complaints from residents, but it seems like there is some upkeep needs at that site, so I just wanted to make note of that as well. But as far as the sign, I think the sign is a nice update, and obviously, we all travel 12-mile a lot, and know we need to be able to find what we're looking for. So with that, Mr. Wygum, will you make a motion, please?
Sure. In regard to case 1831, the appellant Ron Gary of R. Gary Signs, representing the owner Chad Paula, Operations Manager Beacon Management, the Lakes, is requesting the following waivers from the board. A 7.64 square foot of additional garden ground sign area, 32.64 proposed, 25 permitted. A garden ground sign in the corner clearance area. The property is located on the north side of 12 Mile Road between Franklin and Telegraph at 25500 West 12 Mile Road. And I move that we approve this waiver for a ground sign in the corner clearance area, 7.64 square feet of additional ground sign area. 5 feet required. Did you change that, Ed?
He just moved it in there, so 1 foot of height.
Okay. Area, and a 1 foot of additional garden ground sign area. And these are the following conditions: that the garden ground sign be as presented, signed, and dated as an exhibit for the case. The garden ground sign be at a minimum of 8 feet beyond the inside edge of the sidewalk. The fountain grasses or any tall landscaping material be removed from the area between the sign and the sidewalk, and a readable address or series of addresses be placed on the supporting base below the sign to be visible to traffic along 12 Mile Road. And the existing wall and sign be removed in its entirety. The appellant agrees to eliminate the use of prohibited sign types such as banners, balloons, balloon structures, portable signs of any type, flags other than country or state designation, or individual vehicle displaying signage visible to the right-of-way. And this is based on the following: that the new garden ground sign at the proposed location, along with the removal of the existing wall and tall landscape grasses, should improve visibility for traffic exiting the site onto a very busy thoroughfare. The increase in area and height will provide better visibility to a fast-moving, heavily trafficked area.
All right, thank you. Can I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Oh, yes,
I just have
ma'am.
one question. I don't remember hearing him say 1 foot of additional height.
Yeah, I think you said 1 foot of additional area, so it's 1 foot of additional garden ground sign height.
I agree.
Okay? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Will the city call the next case, please?
Yes, for ZBA case 1832, the appellant Allied Science representing Margaret Klobuchar of Ascension Providence Hospital is requesting the following waivers from the board for a modification of ZBA cases 0090 and 0508 regarding ground signage, and a modification of Zoning Board of Appeals case 0652 regarding wall signage. The property is located on the south side of 9 Mile Road between Providence Drive and Foster Winter Drive at 16001 West 9 Mile Road, Sidwell parcel 2436203-001, Zone ERO, Education Research Office. This appeals to Section 8.56, Article 8, Chapter 99 of the Southfield City Code, more commonly known as the sign ordinance, and Zoning Board of Appeals cases 0090, 0508, and 0652.
All right, thank you. Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. If you could give us your name and address, please.
Patrick Stieber, 33650 Gift Host Drive, Clinton Township, Michigan.
Thank you.
Michael Gerstenlauer, 1012 Bembridge, Rochester Hills, Michigan, representing Mrs. Klobuchar and Mr. Hershey, who were called away and couldn't be here themselves.
Okay, thank you. If you would like to give us a brief summary of what you're asking for and why.
Sure. So, Providence is under a large re-imaging process. Not just this hospital, but all hospitals within the state. I think this is countrywide type of thing. So there's a total re-image going on at all hospitals, all facilities. Just a little background on what's going on here.
Let me do
Yeah.
this part, and then you
Yep.
can tell them what the individual. Providence Hospital is part of Ascension Health, which is the largest healthcare organization in the world, and nobody knows us. You only just recently start to see Ascension Health advertising. You still hear the news media tell you that Beaumont is the largest healthcare organization, even though they're tiny by comparison. Over the past couple of years, we've been working to change the name of all of the 154 hospitals across the United States and the hospitals in other countries across the world all to reflect the name Ascension, all to have uniform signage, all to have uniform name, so that the people of the world know who we are. So.
Okay, thank you.
So obviously, it was a large undertaking just to get all this signage submitted. We've been working with Ed, Kim in our office to get to this point. There's been a handful of signs that have been approved that are allowed by the ordinance, but we're here tonight in regards to some specific signs that we need to come in front of the board for to get approval because we are above and beyond what the ordinance allows. There has been some past variances on some signage, but obviously those variances don't carry over. So basically, you know, what we're asking for here is to replace the existing signs that are there now with new signs that you see in your package here. You know, what we're proposing we're not asking for more signs to be on the property. You can see it, this is a like-for-like thing that we're replacing with the updated image. Obviously, this is a very unique property. It's a very large property. It's a very busy property. There's lots of ingress, egress. There's lots of different departments. There's different access points for different patients. The signage is crucial to the operation of the facility. So not only are we doing the name change, but a lot of this signage you can see is directory type signage, directing traffic flows, people to different places, along with the actual Ascension identity that you can see worked into the signs. So like I said, if you look at the package there, what we're proposing, you know, we're replacing what's there, we're taking that away, and we're putting a new sign in its place, as you see on these drawings. We don't feel that what we're proposing will cause any detrimental effects to the area. These signs are existing, we're just updating what's there. We do feel like we do have hardships here due to the size of this property, due to the whole situation of what's going on and the busyness of the hospital, the emergency. So looking at the package, you can see that, you know, it is tastefully done. It's not excessive. These signs are not, you know, extremely large in size compared to the property in question here. So starting at that point, we definitely want to hear Ed's feedback as well, and here to answer any questions about what we're proposing.
Okay, thank you. Will the city read the findings of fact, please?
Yes. For ZBA case 1832, the appellant Allied Signs, representing Margaret Klobuchar of Ascension Providence Hospital, is requesting the following waivers from the board for a modification of Zoning Board of Appeals cases 0090 and 0508 in regard to ground signage, and a modification of Zoning Board of Appeals case 0652 regarding wall signage. Property is located on the south side of 9 Mile Road between Providence Drive and Foster Winter Drive at 16001 West 9 Mile Road, Sidwell parcel 2436203-001, Zone ERO Education Research Office. To the north, across 9 Mile Road, the property is zoned OS, Office Service, and B3, General Business, and currently developed with parking lot A for Providence Hospital, an office building for Providence Human Resources, and the Village Office Center building. To the south, across JL Hudson Drive, the property is zoned RS, Regional Shopping, and is currently developed with the Northland Mall parking area. Directly abutting to the southeast side of the site is a Little Tots daycare. To the east, across Foster Winter Drive, the property is Zone B2, Planned Business, and is currently developed with the Greenfield Plaza Shopping Center. And to the west, the property is zoned RS Regional Shopping and is developed with a parking area for Providence Hospital and RMU, multiple family high-rise, developed with Legacy Place condominiums. The property has mature landscaping along the 9 Mile Road, JL Hudson Drive, Foster Winter, and Providence Drive frontages. The majority of the site is enclosed by a 5 to 6 foot tall ornamental aluminum picket fence, which encloses the parking areas surrounding the site. Providence Hospital Complex has been before this board in several Zoning Board of Appeals cases for waivers of signage requirements generally outlined as follows: increases in number, size, height, and reduction of setback requirements, as well as the location and corner clearance areas for multiple ground signs along all major thoroughfares in cases 0090 and 0508, and wall sign numbers and area in ZBA case 0652, and an increase in permitted directional sign area from 6 square feet to 20 square feet in area. A major intent of these previous waivers was part of a plan that has directional signage playing an important role in directing traffic to correct entrances and exits to provide a more orderly and less congested site. In the ERO Education Research Office Zone, each development would be permitted one ground support sign per major thoroughfare, 60 square feet in area, with a maximum height of 15 feet. The ground support sign must be set back a minimum of 15 feet from the property line. The site would be permitted one ground support or garden ground sign for the Providence Drive, 9 Mile Road, Foster Winter Drive, and JL Hudson Drive frontages for a total of 4 ground signs. One wall sign is permitted at the site for each major thoroughfare at a ratio of 1 square foot of sign area per linear foot of building frontage, not to exceed 200 square feet per sign. This site would be permitted 4 wall signs based on the 4 major frontages. A survey of signage at the site reveals the following. All main ground signage and most wall signage is illuminated. Wall signage meeting ordinance requirements for 327 square feet in area facing each of the major thoroughfares for the various building identification at the site as follows. 2 identical illuminated wall signs, 75 square feet in area, advertising St. John's Providence, 1 each on the east and west elevation of the main hospital near the top of the 7-story structure for a total of 150 square feet in wall sign area. 1 illuminated wall sign, 72.5 square feet in area, identifying St. John Providence Hospital at the main entrance on the north elevation of the main entrance canopy facing 9 Mile Road. 1 non-illuminated wall sign, 21.25 square feet in area, advertising emergency at the east elevation of the emergency drop-off canopy. 1 illuminated wall sign, 60 square feet in area, advertising the Providence Heart Institute on the south elevation of the entrance canopy facing JL Hudson Drive. 1 non-illuminated wall sign, advertising Adeline Fisher Center, 10 square feet in area, on the west elevation of the DePaul Center facing Providence Drive. 1 non-illuminated wall sign, 14 square feet in area, on the west elevation of the entrance canopy to the Providence Medical Building. Ground signage, 256 square feet in total sign area.
256.
Sorry. Ground signage, 265 square feet in total sign area, without calculating any directional signs granted in various zoning board of appeals cases as follows. 1 ground support sign, 49 square feet in area, 8 feet in height, at a 2-foot 8-inch setback from the property line in the corner clearance area at the intersection of Providence and JL Hudson Drive, granted in zoning board of appeals case 0090. 1 ground support sign, 49 square feet in area, 8 feet in height, at a 6-foot setback from the property line in the corner clearance area at the entrance from Foster Winter Drive to the emergency area, granted in ZBA case 0090. 1 ground support sign, 62 square feet in area, 10 feet in height, at a 3-foot setback from the property line in the corner clearance area at the intersection of Foster Winter Drive and 9 Mile Roads, again granted in ZBA case 0090. 1 ground support sign, 56 square feet in area, 10 feet in overall height, at a 12 to 15-foot setback from the property line at the intersection of Providence and 9 Mile Road, granted in zoning board of appeals case 0508. 1 ground support sign, which was also granted but not installed in ZBA case 0090, 49 square feet in area, 8 feet in height, at a 3-foot setback from the property line in the corner clearance area at a proposed new entrance that was going to be installed along JL Hudson Drive. Directional signage, which is illuminated and non-illuminated, has been installed in accordance with the grant in ZBA case 0090, which permits an increase in area for directional signage up to 20 square feet. The appellant proposes to replace a total of 4 illuminated wall signs as follows. 2 wall signs replacing the St. John Providence signs, which are 75 square feet in area, times 2 for 150 square feet, with 2 illuminated wall signs identifying Ascension Providence. They are 125 square feet in area, times 2 signs equals 250 square feet, at the same locations at the east and west elevations of the main building tower. This proposal will increase the overall wall sign area by adding an additional 100 square feet in area. 1 illuminated wall sign replacing the St. John's Providence 156 square feet in area main entrance sign on the north elevation of the main entrance canopy facing 9 Mile Road, with 1 illuminated wall sign identifying Ascension Providence 75 square feet in area, which is calculated as 3 shapes as permitted by ordinance. A reduction of 81 square feet of wall sign area will be the result of that change. 1 illuminated wall sign replacing the St. John Providence wall sign, 60 square feet in area, advertising the Providence Heart Institute on the south elevation of the entrance canopy facing J.L. Hudson Drive, with 1 illuminated wall sign identifying Ascension Providence, 91 square feet in area. Again, that's calculated as 3 shapes, and that is an increase of 31 square feet in wall sign area for that proposal. These wall sign changes will increase total wall sign area by 50 square feet. The appellant also proposes replacing 4 illuminated ground signs as follows. 1 ground support sign, 49 square feet in area, 8 feet in height, at a 2-foot 8-inch setback from the property line in the corner clearance area at the intersection of Providence and J.L. Hudson Drive, granted in ZBA case 0090, and that will be replaced with 1 illuminated 4-sided ground support sign, 88 square feet in area, and that is calculating all the sides as required by ordinance, 9 foot 6 inches in height, at the same setback as the existing sign. This is an increase of 39 square feet in ground sign area due to the calculation of all 4 sides of the cube sign. 1 illuminated ground support sign, 20 square feet in area, 5 feet 4 inches in height, at a 2-foot 8-inch setback from the property line in the corner clearance area in an island at the southernmost entrance to the Medical and Heart Institute along the Providence Drive frontage. It is going to be replaced with 1 illuminated 2-sided ground sign, 37 square feet in area, calculated as only 1 side as permitted by ordinance, 5 feet 8 inches in height, at the same setback as the existing sign. This is an increase of 17 square feet of ground sign area. 1 illuminated ground support sign, 62 square feet in area, 10 feet in height, at a 3-foot setback from the property line in the corner clearance area at the intersection of Foster Winter Drive and 9 Mile Road, granted in Zoning Board of Appeals case 0090. It will be replaced with 1 illuminated 4-sided ground support sign, 88 square feet in area, again calculating all sides as required by ordinance, 10 feet in height, at the same setback as the existing sign. This is an increase of 26 square feet in ground sign area, again due to the calculation of all 4 sides of the cube sign. 1 illuminated ground support sign, 56 square feet in area, 10 feet in overall height, at a 12 to 15 foot setback from the property line at the intersection of Providence and 9 Mile Roads, granted in Zoning Board of Appeals case 0508. It is going to be replaced with 1 illuminated 4-sided ground support sign, 88 square feet in area, calculated as all signs as required by all sides as required by ordinance, 9 foot 6 inches in height, at the same setback as the existing sign. This is an increase of 32 square feet in ground sign area, again due to the calculation of all 4 sides of the cube sign. A total increase for all ground signs of 114 square feet of area, which is due mostly to the calculation of all 4 sides of cube signs. A total of an additional 164 square feet of total sign area is proposed for the site with this appeal.
Okay, thank you. Do you agree with all of those facts?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have anything you'd like to add at this point?
Not at this time.
Okay. Will the city read the staff recommendation, please?
Yes, staff's recommendation is for favorable consideration of the modifications of ZBA cases 0090, 0508, and 0652, and an additional 50 square feet of wall sign area and 114 square feet of ground support sign area with the following conditions. The appellant agreed to eliminate any future use of banners, balloons, or balloon structures or portable signs of any type. The proposed wall signage meet all other requirements of the sign ordinance. The owner appear back before this board if complaints arise from the illumination of the proposed signage, and any changes in signage associated with this appeal come back before this board for approval. This recommendation is based on the following. The recommended wall signage on the taller building will aid in the identification from a further distance to locate the hospital complex. The condition placed for lighting concerns are based on the proximity to residential properties surrounding the site. The increase in ground sign area is due to the definition of the area of a sign, which requires all 4 sides of the proposed ground signage to be calculated. The increase in wall sign area is minor in nature in regard to the size of the building it is placed upon and the height it is installed. And the appellant has stated a need for visitors to identify entrances to various departments and services at the site.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or anything else you'd like to add at this point?
No. Any questions, though, that you might have, we'd be happy to try to answer.
Okay, appreciate that. So let's open it to the public. If there's anyone from the public who wishes to speak on this case, please step forward. Seeing none, we'll close public comment and open it up to the board. Mr. Bussell?
Yes, I drove through the site, and unlike Beaumont, your hospital is completely surrounded by about a half dozen outbuildings. So it is difficult to see. And I feel that the wall signage is comparable to what's already there, even though there is a slight increase. And the ground signage, I think, is going to be necessary in order to navigate the site. So I'm agreeing with the staff recommendations, and I'd like to applaud Ed for reading that monster of findings. He did a wonderful job.
All right, Ms. Leslie?
Yes, Ed, do we consider this as a master sign plan?
If I might, through the chair to Ms. Selesny, it will be in addition to the master sign plan I already have on file. So we'll have to put this along and attach it to the master sign plan that we currently have.
Okay. I think that their requests are pretty minor, considering the large complex with so many outbuildings. Having been a patient there or having friends who've been patients there, you really have to work hard to find the right place to park and to enter, and I think this will definitely help.
All right, thank you. Mr. Wygum?
I echo Ms. Selesny. Right now, I mean, I wandered around trying to see even how to get out. And I went to the valet parking and I finally found it. So hopefully these additional signs will be clear enough so that people coming in to use your hospital will know where to go. If not, put more directional signs. You can go to Ed for that, and they will allow you to do that. And it's pretty key because you have a very, very large complex. My next comment is St. John's involved in this at all?
St. John is also an Ascension hospital.
It is.
As are the St. Mary's hospitals in Genesis Hospital, Crittenden Hospital, Borges.
Holy man.
I'm responsible for 12 hospitals. In the eastern half of Michigan, we have 15 hospitals, 5 standalone ambulatory surgical sites, and well over 200 wholly owned physician practices just in the state of Michigan.
Well, will, like Crittenden, for example, will it be called Ascension
It already is.
Crittenden?
If you drive by Crittenden right now, you'll see these identical signs, and the sign out front and on the building says Ascension Crittenden.
Okay, thank you. I have no problem with this. I think it's a good idea, and I love Providence in our city.
Yeah. And we're very much taking the opportunity, not just to name change, but wayfinding, as you've both expressed. You now will see color coding of the buildings, the signs on the glass doors will match the colors on the sign. We recognize the huge facility, 1.4 million square feet under roof. Just getting finding your way around a modern tertiary care hospital it's not for the faint of heart.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Rogers?
So it sounds like you're rebranding at the same time you're able to take care of all the visibility issues and egress and ingress so that people can get in and out. And I think there's nothing worse than going to a hospital and having anxiety to go visit somebody or drop somebody off and you don't know where to go. I mean, spending minutes doing that is like a lifetime. So I agree with everybody's assessment.
Great, I do as well. I think everybody has touched on the important points, and I think this is a great redesign. So, Mr. Russell, will you make a motion, please? Sorry.
Yes. In the case of 18-32, the appellant Allied Signs representing Margaret Publicar of Ascension Providence Hospital is requesting the following waivers from the board. A modification of ZBA cases 00-90 and 0508 regarding ground signage. And a modification of ZBA case 06-52 regarding wall signage. Property is located on the south side of 9 Mile Road between Providence Drive and Foster Winter Drive at 16001 West 9 Mile Road, Sidwell parcel number 2436-203-001, zoned ERO Education Research Office. I'd like to make a motion for the additional 50 square feet of wall sign area and the additional 114 square feet of ground support sign area with the following conditions. The appellant agrees to eliminate all future use of banners, balloons, or balloon structures, or portable signs of any type. The proposed wall signage meets all of the requirements of the sign ordinance. The owner appears back before this board if a complaint arises from the illumination of the proposed signage. Any changes in signage associated with this appeal come back before the board for approval. This motion recommendation is based on the following: that the recommended wall signage on the taller building would aid in identification from a farther distance to locate the hospital complex. The condition placed for lighting concerns are based on the proximity to residential properties surrounding the site. The increase in ground sign area is due to the definition of the area of a sign, which requires all four sides of a proposed ground signage to be calculated. The increase in wall sign area is minor in nature in regards to the size of the building it is placed upon and the height it is installed. The appellant has a need for visitors to identify entrances to various departments and/or services at the site.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
Before we do that, I would
Yes.
ask you take out, he said this recommendation, just take out, this is based on. It's not a recommendation anymore.
Motion.
That's fine.
Okay.
The motion.
All right. Can I have a second?
Second?
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Good luck with your project. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ed.
Okay, not seeing anyone else join us as an appellant for case 1829, do we need to have another motion to table it to,
No.
Next
It's already
meeting?
been tabled.
okay, so we just leave it?
If I might, if we could table it, if we could
To a date certain,
table
we
it
can
to a date certain, that would avoid us from, or just table it to the next available meeting, that would prevent us from or that would allow us to not have to re-advertise and incur the cost of re-advertising. So anyone that was interested in that particular case would have been here tonight and have already been noticed. So that way we wouldn't have to, the city would not have to incur any additional costs in re-advertising it if we simply had a motion to table it to the next available meeting.
Which would be December 4th. Or is there one here in November?
No, this is it.
Yes, we could actually, yes, we could actually table it to the next meeting, but staff would request that we would allow time to contact the individual, because if they're not available for the December 4th meeting, we may have to move them to another meeting. So I don't have a clear date, maybe just tabling to the next available meeting that the appellant can appear at.
Well, when you table a motion,
Mm-hmm.
that motion has to either be brought onto the floor at the next meeting
Yep.
or it dies. It can be brought onto the floor at the next meeting. If it has to be postponed, it can be retabled. That would
Okay.
probably be the best way of doing it.
I think,
And
yeah.
that way you can, by then, already decide when they can schedule that. We can bring it off the table onto the floor and put it back on the table.
How does the public know, though? If you
Because-
don't send out anything, how is the public going to know that it's now on the docket?
Because if they were interested, they would be here tonight.
So you're saying that, yeah, but what happens if they're recovering from Halloween or something and we're sick? I don't know. I'm just wondering
It's the 13th to recover from.
that they're not identified. I mean, they don't know. In fact, the people didn't even know. Will you call them?
We absolutely will call them and find out what happened. If I might, through the chair to Mr. Wygum, we were in contact with them up to, pretty closely to the end, because we pushed to get this on this particular agenda for the appellant. So I don't know what happened, but, I think we should at least give the opportunity to the appellant, give them the benefit of the doubt. And we will absolutely contact them and find out what happened. But with Mr. Bussel's comments, there could be several ways we could do this, actually. We could table it to the next available meeting. We could postpone it until the appellant is available. In any case with it, the fact that we are discussing this at an open meeting in which the case was advertised properly to each one of the property owners within 350 feet of the property and posted in the newspaper also. So you would hope that any interested party would have stopped in for this meeting or sent in any sort of communication to the board on this meeting. So if there was an interested party, hopefully they would have been here tonight to learn that it is going to be moved to another date. But it is also in the board's purview if they would like us to re-advertise it if it gets past a certain date. So I guess there's a few options for you. You could table it to the next meeting, which is a date certain. You could postpone it to a future date when the appellant is ready.
I think we should just take it off the table and then postpone it to the next meeting.
I agree. I think that's on the appellant. And put it on the next meeting. If he can't make it, then we're going to have to re-advertise and they're going to have to pay again.
All right, so can I have a motion to remove case 1829 from the table?
So moved.
All right.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. And can I have a motion to retable case 1829 to our next meeting on December 4th, 2018?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so case 1829 has been moved to the next meeting,
Can I suggest
Yes,
that we
ma'am.
all take our papers and give it back to
certainly,
Ed so that they don't have to print everything up again for us?
certainly. All right, and then I believe we have a set of minutes that are much more simple than we're used to.
If I might, a little explanation is due through the chair to the board as a whole. We had a little issue with the recording instrument not picking up properly. So these minutes are pulled together from the best that could be ascertained from what was on the tape and are not verbatim as we've done in the past. They do, however, meet any requirements as far as the information that needs to be in the actual minutes. We do tend to go a little farther with the verbatim minutes. So these are fine to accept as a set of minutes for that particular meeting.
It's not, I mean, they are not minutes. This is a summary, you know, and you got in there, and you just have the finding of facts, and, yeah, it was discussed and voted on. And, you know, I'm concerned that if any of them, it came down to a lawsuit or something, we would have nothing. You know, Mr. Bussell made a great comment or something, and there's just nothing there.
Well, if I might again through the chair, Mr. Weigum, if you actually notice some other minutes, in fact, I just came out of a meeting that the minutes are even less than this. They basically say there was a discussion on this particular matter, and the important items that need to be in a set of minutes are what happened in the action. Generally a discussion, the findings of facts that were read into the record and presented, along with the legal notice that was read into the record appropriately, and the motions that were made, and that there were discussions that occurred. That's the simplest form that's permitted. In fact, the minutes from about a 3.5-hour meeting for another board that I'm a member of are one-page double-sided.
Yeah.
We didn't used to have verbatim minutes.
That is correct, and we did go back, if I might through the chair, to Mrs. Lesney. We never actually used to have verbatim minutes for a long time, but we did have a more
It was more summarized. But
And I will
this
tell you
isn't
that
summarized.
this is not going to be into the future. This is not going to be an example of what the
I
future
don't
was.
think the mic was working last time. I remember having a difficult time hearing the appellant.
Correct. So we had some difficulties which should be alleviated by, now we have actually two sources of documentation for the meeting. One would be the cable record, and the other would be our record on our digital recording device. So this should not happen at all.
Are
in
we
the
being
future.
recorded now on TV?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Where's
For
the
posterity.
man with the banjo?
No banjos,
There isn't?
no.
If I might, it's all actually automated. I don't want to look at all the cameras, but there are cameras throughout the site that move back and forth.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, and I was actually going to make a suggestion that we move to minutes like this since we're being recorded for the future at our next meeting. That was going to be one of my suggestions, but, For the
I'm with
table.
you, yes.
so, but based on what we have, since this is all we have for the minutes for October 16th, does anybody have any changes, corrections?
I do have, there's actually the same correction at two places.
Okay.
On page 3 and on page 9, it says this recommendation, it should be this motion in each place. Top of page
Yes.
3
Oh,
and the top of page 9.
okay. Okay, any other changes? Okay, with those two changes, can I have a motion to approve the minutes for October 16th, 2018?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor? Aye. Okay, moving on to discussion of our next meeting.
So the next meeting, through the chair to the board, is our year-end meeting. I know it's a little strange because it's not actually the last meeting of the year, but it's always been in our rules of procedure. Our year-end meeting is the first meeting in December. So we do try and limit the amount of cases on that particular night because we need to do some other miscellaneous items. So what we have is 3 cases on the docket with the addition of the one table case, the one signed table case. So we also have another signed case and 2 commercial cases, so we'll have a total of 4 on that agenda. In addition, we'll have the year-end discussions. We'll have the choosing of the, or the voting of the chairperson and secretary, the adoption of the 2019 calendar, and a legal discussion, if we need to, on the rules of procedure. If you haven't yet, I want you all to, if you could, think about if you have any questions that you would like to have submitted to the legal department so that they can research those questions for you and have answers available at that next meeting, December 4th. And as to whether the board would like the legal department to send a representative here for that meeting. So I would need that as soon as you possibly could get me the information, send it to staff so that we can get that over to the city attorney's office.
But we need to decide right now, don't we, if we want them to be present?
If I might, through the chair to Mr. Weigum, you don't have to decide right now, as long as you could get me the answer, I would say, within the next week or so, so there's enough time for them to schedule it. I think that would be fine.
Okay, anything else? Any other miscellaneous items?
I make a move that we adjourn.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.